The next unit coming out to the peak game Grand Summoners is our girl, Evil Pola of the Grim Witch Saga. Starting with her slots, which consist of a 6-star physical, in which you drop her true weapon, 5-star heal, a healed equip based off of the stage you're doing, you'd run Fina Devil Wings for general use, and 4-star defense, or at LB7, a support slot. Her skill deals 2500% earth damage physical that cure allies poison, and increases own arts by 60 if the skill cures poison. This is a very conditional skill, in which most of the time won't happen, but when it does, it's actually decent. Though because it's way too specific, this isn't reliable whatsoever. Next, her arts deals 16,000% earth damage, which for 15 seconds increases ally stats by 30% and reduces damage taken for all allies by 30% if the enemy is poisoned. Keep in mind, this can also stack with other forms of damage res up, as this one is conditional. This is a nice pseudo heal, and if you can poison the boss, you can get a 30% damage res, which is incredibly useful in endgame content. The issue is if the enemy has poison resistance, this arch is basically loses all its value. Her true arch deals 50,000% earth physical damage, in which for 30 seconds increases the allies' arch by 4 per second if they have 50% or more HP, and reduces enemies' poison resistance by 50%. This true arch provides some nice support as it provides type F arch gen, and the poison resistance lower can help her inflict poison much easier to get her kit up and going. Her super arch deals 150,000 earth physical damage and has a 100% chance to inflict poison for 30 seconds. And for 30 seconds, she increases allies' physical damage by the amount of HP she has to a maximum of 150% physical damage. This super arch also provides some nice support capabilities, as it allows her to inflict poison and also increase allies' physical damage for a healthy duration. The damage from her is subpar, but since she functions as a poison support, it's acceptable. Her abilities, on the other hand, are really mediocre, as her first and second passive increase her own paralyze and disease resistance by 100%. As this is appreciated, it's quite rare to see these passives get much attention at all. Her last ability, on the other hand, increases her own damage and break power by 100% against poison enemies. This third ability enables her to deal decent damage, though she lacks the obvious, like crit and ignore defense, but it is still appreciated. The break power, on the other hand, is cool, but to begin with, her break power isn't really high whatsoever, but it's sort of appreciated if you're trying to break a boss. Her true weapon, True Radical Sword, deals 6,000% earth physical damage on a 40-second CT, which has a 70% chance to inflict poison for 12 seconds, and if the user is earth, their damage is increased by 35% for 12 seconds. The effect is nice for a quick poison, if you might want to get that damage res up right away. The passive increases her own arts by 3 per second, and the second passive increases attack by 5%. The self APS is always appreciated on a true weapon. This definitely helps her set up. Overall, Evil Pola functions as a poison sub DPS. She has the best chance to inflict poison in this game compared to anyone else. You might ask if Valentine's Miranda is better, but it's actually quite close, as Miranda can lower status resistance by 30%, but Evil Pola can reduce the poison resistance by 50%, which gives her a higher chance of poison. So, about the banner is quite stacked, with Aircella Orbis, who's a competent magic water breaker that can also increase damage, along with Cosmo, who's the best paralyzed in the game, Joker Celia, who's a good freeze DPS, though sort of outdated, and Garland, who's just hot garbage. Evil Pola's banner also runs along with Star God Lisa's banner. You can check out her review here in the top right. Well, this concludes our review on Evil Pola. Please consider liking and subscribing, as it helps us put out videos more often.